Hey beautiful people, my name is Danielle Jeffers. I am the founder of Dough 4 Degrees LLC. Dough 4 Degrees is a scholarship coaching company where I teach students how to earn scholarships to go to college and graduate debt-free. Today I'm going to share my scholarship journey with you. Alright, so if you're familiar with Dough 4 Degrees and you're familiar with my story via the past videos that I released or anything in the social media, press, or whatever, then you know that I graduated debt-free from Virginia Tech on May 17, 2019, having earned more than $200,000 in scholarships. And I founded Dough 4 Degrees as a result of my scholarship experience to teach more students how to earn scholarships to go to college and graduate debt-free. There are a few pieces of content out there that briefly cover my story, but there's nothing that gives a timeline of the highlights to just give everyone a glimpse of what my scholarship journey is like. And so that's what I want to tell you in this video, how I earned over $100,000 in scholarships in 5 months when I was a high school senior, and how I doubled my earnings when I was in college to graduate debt-free from Virginia Tech. So let's flash back. Looking at the need or the desire to go to college, I always said I wanted to go to school. I wanted to go to school since the age of 5 years old, but I wanted to go to play Division I basketball and hopefully take my talent and play in the WNBA. That was my goal, was to play professional basketball after I graduated from college. Unfortunately, that didn't come to pass for me. I fell in love with the game at the age of 5, and I tore my ACL, my right anterior cruciate ligament, at 14 years old during my freshman year of high school. So I was super excited. I made it to high school. I thought I was gonna be able to play ball, and then my dreams were crushed. But not only were my dreams crushed, but also I had to reevaluate what I would do because I couldn't play sports. Well, the good news is my parents were very supportive, and they challenged me to always do my best in the classroom, to perform exceptionally well. And those results, well, that hard work paid off, because I was able to maintain a high GPA when I was in middle school, and I took that skill set academically and transferred it to high school. And so when I was recovering from my ACL injury, my doctor told me, you won't be able to get surgery until you're about 19 years old, which is a 5-year difference, being 14. Because if I would have chosen to gotten surgery at that time, one leg would have always been longer than the other, and I would have walked with a permanent limp. And my parents were basically like, that's not gonna happen, so it looks like you will not be playing basketball anymore. Well, I had already set my mind on playing basketball at GW. I went to George Washington High School in Danville, Virginia. I had already made my mind up, and I told them I really want to try out for the team my sophomore year. This was after long weeks filled with 3 days of physical therapy each, and trying to build the strength around my muscles of my knees so that I could be able to walk and be back on my feet again, because I was going through the halls at GW as a freshman on crutches and a power chair and a wheelchair, anything to help me get around until I was officially back on my feet. So I had to fight with my parents tooth and nail to allow me to try out for the team my sophomore year, because they said, what's the point? You're not going to play ball in high school, so why would you run the risk of making your injury worse? I told them this is something I really want to do, and they know me very well. When I set my mind to something, I'm going to do everything within my capacity to make sure it comes to pass. And so I tried out for the JV team my sophomore year. I made the team. I was super excited, but I also was benched the whole season because of my injury. I was slower. My jump shot wasn't as consistent. My basketball IQ was still there, but my performance wasn't. And so I rode the bench, got in the last 2 to 3 minutes of a couple of games, but I did accomplish my goal of being able to play ball in high school. That was the last time I played organized basketball. So fast forward to the end of my sophomore year, I was back on my feet, played the game I loved the last time officially, but I also had to deal with a new situation, which is something that continues to appear in my story. New situations, new challenges, unexpected obstacles, but it's the beauty of my story. And so by the end of my sophomore year, there was a drastic change in my household. Both of my parents had been battling with their own health concerns from as long as I can remember. So as long as I can remember, from being a child until a teenager, they had their own health issues. But things started to take a turn for the worst as I completed my sophomore year. And by the end of my sophomore year, both of my parents were forced to retire from their jobs. And so their health concerns led to retirement, which led to a change in our household routine and also the finances of our household. But then a good thing came up at the end of my sophomore year. I received a letter from the Piedmont Governor's School for Mathematics, Science, and Technology. For anyone who's familiar with dual enrollment, you know you can earn college credits through your local community college, and you can take those credits and go to a 4-year school or complete your associate's degree, having saved a lot of money because those credits are offered for free. And so I took the placement test required for that program. I had a high GPA at the time. I passed all the requirements, and I went into my junior year officially knowing that I would take a portion of my credits, my college credits, at an off-site location from my high school through the local community college, which was Danville Community College, and then I would go back to GW, where I would go to GW for the second half of the day to take my high school classes. I did that my junior and senior years of high school. I did well. I closed out my junior year. I think it was like a 4.0 or 4.1 GPA, something like that. And I was ready to go into my senior year knowing that this would be the culmination of all of my hard work. This would be the culmination of all of my dedication, persistence, late nights and early mornings, academically, but also mentally and emotionally from dealing with the change in our household. And so things started to get even more difficult as I progressed through my senior year. At the beginning of my senior year, my parents set me down in our living room and we had a conversation. And they basically told me, Danielle, we cannot afford to send you to college, but you still have to go. And so for me, that was devastating because I grew up in a household where education was constantly reinforced. The importance of education was constantly reinforced, and it was nailed and drilled down into my head. And they told me, you have to go to college, you have to go to college. And I was under the assumption that my parents would be able to pay for it because I'd watched them work jobs consistently for years. That's all I knew. They worked jobs consistently. And I said, we never really talked about the cost of college, so why would that be an area of concern for me? And so when they told me that, I had already made my mind up over the course of that summer that I wasn't going to college and taking out student loans. I just wasn't going to do it. And I think there was more to that I hadn't discovered yet. And I think there was a spiritual aspect or a component that I hadn't discovered yet. But I said, I'm not going to school and taking out student loans. And so they told me that they couldn't afford to send me to college, but I still had to go. And I told them to their face, if I have to go to school and take out loans, I won't go. When they said, well, I don't know what to tell you, figure it out. And so thank God for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Danville area, specifically BGCD on 123 Foster Street. My Boys and Girls Club changed my life. I enrolled in my Boys and Girls Club this summer before my 6th grade year of middle school, and I attended the club regularly every single day until I graduated from high school. And so I talked to members, staff members in my Boys and Girls Club. I talked to members in my church, different family members, community leaders, and they said you should really apply for scholarships. They told me I should apply for scholarships for several reasons. The number one reason being was that I had a great GPA. I had a 4.1 GPA. I think I was ranked number 7 in my class, something like that at the time. I had over 200 hours of community service logged, all because of my Boys and Girls Club. And I had a story. I had a story that was rooted in perseverance, also the testing of my faith and the shaping of my character. And they were very, very, very encouraging and said that you should apply for scholarships. And so I went into the scholarship process without really any understanding of how it works. Scholarships, there aren't any guarantees, but I said this is my only ticket out of my city, of my hometown, Danville, Virginia, and on to bigger and better things. And so I said, why not give it a shot? So I gave it a shot in the fall of 2014. That's the fall of my senior year of high school, and things didn't go too well. I didn't win any scholarships. Got a lot of rejection letters, and one critical rejection letter, the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship, that really broke my heart because it was 10 essays. It was a full ride to college with the potential of getting a full ride for your master's degree, and it just didn't work out. And so I was like, what's the point of this? My aunt in Philadelphia was very encouraging and said, you really should apply for this. And when I told her that I didn't get accepted, she basically said, I'll give you a week to cry about it, to get it out, and then you're going to get back to work. And so I went back to work. My January through May of my senior year of high school, that was a 5-month period. I dug so deep within myself and pulled out everything that I had, and I laid it all on the table. And in that moment, it taught me that hard work pays off, because I got up at 5 a.m. every morning from January to May of 2015 before I graduated from high school. And I would apply for scholarships from 5 a.m. to 6:30 get dressed and ready, drive to governor's school, be there about 7:30 or 7:45, I don't remember exactly. Go through the school day, end about 2:45, 3 o'clock, something like that. Go run errands for the household if necessary. Go to the Boys and Girls Club and have a little fun, decompress, only to come back home to do my homework and to work on scholarships. That was a never-ending process. I did it on the weekends. I did it day in and day out, January to May of 2015. And I applied for more than 30 scholarships in 5 months, and I earned 14 of them, totaling more than $100,000. I took that $100,000 and I enrolled in Virginia Tech in the fall of 2015. I went there knowing that at least 1 year was covered, because many of those scholarships came from other universities. Some of them were one-time scholarships, so I knew right off the bat that my whole entire 4-year education would not be paid for with the money I earned in high school. And so I had to continue to put in the work. But I also met people from all around the world. Met people from Bangladesh, Russia, Asia, China, like all different parts of the United States. I met so many different people. And some people I had conversations with, and I would ask them, how are you here? Like, how are you paying for college? And they would tell me I'm taking out student loans. One conversation I had in particular really sticks out in my mind. They said, I just took out $20,000 in loans this semester to study here at Virginia Tech. And for me, that broke my heart, because I was thinking, we're gonna be here 8 semesters. So by the time you finish, you'll already be $160,000 in student loan debt, and you haven't made $1 off your degree. And so I started coaching and helping people out of the kindness of my heart. I didn't really have any clarity about what this could become, but I knew that that's how I was raised, was to help people even when you don't have it, to help people out of the kindness of your heart, and operate with a heart of gratitude, a heart of service. So I did it, and I quickly realized that this was a common problem, that there was an opportunity. I did have a business mind, but I didn't understand, at the time I didn't understand how business works, but I had a business mind. And so I called my sister. I remember talking to my sister and was like, hey, I think there's an opportunity here. She said, oh great, well come see me during your winter break, and I want to introduce you to my mentor, so you can do an externship with him and learn how he works. Her mentor is Thomas Harrelson. Thomas Harrelson is the founder and president of TMH Global International LLC. TMH Global is a financial education and financial services firm. I'll make sure to include his information in the bio, where you can learn more about the services and opportunities he has available for credit repair, taxes, accounting, bookkeeping, and even more. And so Thomas, I did a 2-week externship with Mr. Thomas, and he taught me so much in 2 weeks. I was overflowing with knowledge and just about business, because I went into this externship only knowing the word CEO and profit. I only knew those 2 words, but he taught me how business works, how to build a business, how to build a customer base, and all of those things. And by the end of my externship, exactly 1 day before my externship ended, I founded my first company, Doe 4 Degrees LLC. Doe 4 Degrees is a scholarship coaching company where I teach students how to earn scholarships to go to college and graduate debt-free. I founded my baby. I birthed my company on January 14, 2016, and we have been growing and rocking and rolling ever since. But I birthed that company with the intentionality to teach more people, or with the intention to teach more people how to earn scholarships to go to college and graduate debt-free. And at the time, there weren't any guarantees that I would graduate debt-free from college. But I built that business with sweat equity, hard work and dedication, with the support of my sister and my mentor, who carried me throughout my college career emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, and taught me how to build a business while I was still applying for scholarships. Because I didn't graduate with just $100,000 in scholarships. I graduated having earned more than $200,000 in scholarships. So I doubled my earnings when I was in college. And for anyone who's watching this video and you're wondering, how do I earn scholarships in college? Like, that may be a common question. Let me tell you, it's harder than it is in high school, but it's possible. You just have to put in the work and sacrifice. And if you have any comments or questions about that, feel free to drop them below. I'll be more than happy to help you, to shoot a video to give you some more content and information. But so I finished Virginia Tech. I earned my Bachelor of Arts in Communication from Virginia Tech on May 17th, 2019. I graduated debt-free, and I transitioned into full-time business owner mode. I own Doe 4 Degrees completely, 100%, and I am teaching students everywhere how to earn scholarships to go to college and graduate debt-free. So feel free to visit my website, dough4degrees.com, DOUGH, the number 4, degrees with an S.com, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel where I'll be releasing more content and information related to scholarship success, personal development, professional development, my college experience, and also just growth all around the board. And so I look forward to helping y'all earn these scholarships, because life is so much bigger than we believe. There are so many opportunities, so many different paths you can take. And I want you to remember this, that there aren't any limits in life. Whatever you seek to do in your life, you can do it. Like, just put in the work. That's basically it. Sweat equity is what has allowed me to grow and become who I am. And sweat equity is the term that I use a lot, because when you only have time to give, when you only have your energy and your ideas to give to your dreams, give it all. Give it all without any hesitation, because it could take you places that you never imagined. So I love you. I can't wait to support you and help you grow and develop into who you want to become. As always, feel free to reach out to me in the comment section and visit my website for more information. I'll see you soon.